Module Overview. Political parties require resources to function effectively, from organizing campaigns and policy dialogues to paying staff and conducting voter outreach. Money fuels every party activity. However, while money is necessary, it also poses serious ethical, legal, and democratic challenges. This module unpacks the various sources of political finance, the regulatory frameworks, the risks of corruption and undue influence, and the strategies for reform that promote transparency, accountability, and equity in the political process. Understanding political party financing. Political party financing refers to the funds and resources that parties use to sustain their operations, organize campaigns, pay staff, and engage citizens. These finances include both monetary contributions and in-kind support. A. Types of party financing routine. Operational financing. Daily operations, salaries, rent, media, meetings, logistics, electoral campaign financing, expensive, intensive, time-bound spending on elections, rallies, adverts, mobilization. B. Scope of financing, needs, internal party democracy, and primaries. Civic education and outreach, legal defense and election tribunals, party conventions and congresses, research and policy development. Sources of political party funding. Here we are going to be using source, details, and risks and opportunities in our table. 1. Membership dues, regular payments by registered members, promotes ownership, but often insufficient. 2. Donations. Individuals, groups, diaspora, risk of elite capture and influence buying. 3. State public funding, allocated by government, encourages equity but subject to abuse. 4. Corporate sponsorships. Legal in some countries can lead to policy capture. 5. Fundraising events, galas, dinners, auctions, prone to lack of transparency. 6. Foreign aid, judge grants. Only allowed in limited cases, non-electoral, may influence sovereignty or ideology. Public funding and party subsidies. In many democracies, public funding is provided to level the playing field and reduce dependence on private donors. A. Justifications for public funding. Prevents undue private influence, promotes equal opportunity among parties, enables smaller parties to compete, reduces reliance on illicit funds. B. Types of public funding. Direct funding, cash disbursements based on criteria like votes, seats, or representation. Indirect funding, free media airtime, use of public venues, security, tax exemptions. C. Examples. Germany. State matches. Private donations. Nigeria. Parties can receive funding from INEC under certain conditions. Kenya. Parties must comply with gender and youth representation to qualify. The dark side, corruption and illicit political financing. While money is vital, its abuse undermines democracy. A. Risks and manifestations, vote buying and voter inducement. Cronyism, awarding contracts to donors. State capture. Wealthy interests shape policy outcomes, undisclosed offshore donations. Use of public resources for campaigns. B. Illicit sources. Money laundering, drug trafficking, smuggling, foreign lobbying groups, parastatal manipulation. Campaign expenditure and media spending. Campaigns are increasingly media-driven and resource-intensive, requiring vast budgets. A. Types of campaign expenditures. Billboards, TV/radio ads, SMS campaigns, social media influencers and bots, merchandise and branded items, security, logistics, honoraria for mobilizers, legal teams, and post-election litigation. B. The media money complex. Wealthy parties dominate public narratives. Digital platforms allow micro-targeting, but increased cost political advertising is often unregulated. Legal and institutional frameworks for political finance. Democratic states often create laws and institutions to regulate political finance. A. Common regulatory elements. Disclosure of donors and amounts. Spending limits for campaigns. Independent audits. Criminal penalties for violations. B. Key institutions, electoral commissions, e.g. INEC in Nigeria. Anti-corruption agencies. Civil society monitors political finance audit units. Global best practices in political finance regulation. Country, model, and notable feature will be used in our table. 1. Sweden state plus disclosure. Full online disclosure. 2. UK spending caps plus audits. Transparent donor registry. 3. India electoral bonds. Anonymous donations, controversial. 4. Canada, strict caps plus public subsidies, limits private donor influence. Challenges in low-income and emerging democracies. Challenge and description will be used in our table. 1. Weak enforcement laws exist, but no implementation or punishment. 2. Overdependence on godfathers. Funding becomes conditional. 3. Cash-based economies, hard to trace donations. 4. Poor financial literacy within parties. No bookkeeping culture. 5. Inaccessible audits. Voters unaware of party finances. Toward financial transparency and sustainable party financing. A. Solutions and reforms. Mandatory e-filing of campaign finances. Third-party audits and publications. Public debates on party expenditures. Citizen oversight platforms, and whistleblower protections, civic education on financial transparency. B. Technological innovations. Blockchain-based donation tracking, open data dashboards for electoral spending, AI detection of campaign bots and ad spending. Conclusion: balancing resources and democratic ethics. Political finance is a double-edged sword. While necessary for electoral competition and party operations, it can be a gateway to corruption, inequality, and democratic erosion. The challenge for modern democracies is to balance transparency, accountability, competitiveness, and freedom in the regulation of political funding. Ultimately, a well-funded democracy is not just one with money, it is one where money serves the people, not the powerful.